Hello, welcome to the Learning Lab class, Craft and Create, Find Your Next Hobby. My name is Melissa, and I'm one of the Adult and Teen Services librarians at the Arcadia Public Library. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the resource Creativebug, and we're going to be taking a closer look at how to search and browse all of their content. So let's jump in. So as you can see, we're here on the Creativebug homepage, and we are already logged into the resource. So there's a bunch of different ways to be able to find content, but the first way is to do a search. So the search option is right at the center, and you can search through, it defaults to classes. If you click on this drop down, it also allows you to search images, instructors, or their blog. But I'm going to go ahead and just click in the search bar and do a search through classes first. So I'm going to search for a craft that I'm interested in, which is knitting. And I've typed in what I'm interested in, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the magnifying glass to execute the search, or you can also press enter on your keyboard. So I went ahead and did that search for knitting, and it brings up a bunch of results. So in the upper right corner of the search results, you've got some additional options. You can sort these results in different ways. You'll notice that it defaults to relevance, so it's what it thinks is most relevant to what you searched. You can also sort it by most popular. You can sort it by release date, which will do newest class and video releases to oldest. And then you can do also alphabetical or reverse alphabetical order if that is makes sense for what you're looking for. The other option that you have here is filtering results. And if you are filtering results, you can filter by class type. So you can, if there's technique videos, if you want just beginner videos, quick classes, which are shorter videos, or if you want more in-depth, you can click off this multi-part classes. I search for a very specific craft, but you'll notice that there are videos that came up in multiple craft categories. So if I wanted to limit to just knitting, I could do that. And then finally, there's instructor. So if there was a particular teacher that you enjoyed, you can take a look at just their content. We're going to be taking a look at videos and class content in a separate video. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the homepage to show you a couple of ways to browse. Now that we're back on the homepage, we're going to take a look at several different ways that you can browse the site. So first and foremost, there is this, on the Explore tab, this View All Classes button. So this is going to, if I click on this, this is going to take me to a list of all of the classes that are available in Creativebug. And if I start scrolling, you'll get the idea. There are a lot of them. So that might be a way to kind of just get your feet wet and take a look at what they've got. But again, like with the search, you still will have the ability to sort results or also filter the results. So it might be a good jumping off point. I'm going to go back to that homepage again, and we can also take a look at the Find Your Favorites. So this button will bring you to a page where you will select a couple of genres of arts and crafts that you are interested in, and then it will make recommendations based on your selections. So you would select a couple that you are interested in, let's say it's knitting and jewelry, and do Let's Get Crafting down here at the bottom. And after I do that, it's going to give me some suggestions based on my answers. So these are things that it thinks that I will be interested in based on my responses. There's a couple different ways to browse, again, from that homepage. So I'm going to head back there. You can also browse by looking at the list that they've created on the middle part of the page, which we briefly looked at in the first navigation video. So for example, they've created a list of their most popular videos. You can click on these directly, or you can click view all. Again, they have a list for seasonal classes right now. Another way that you can browse is right up top at the top of this home screen. They have buttons for classes. So all of these are different genres of arts and crafts. And then within the genre, there might be subcategories. So within sewing, they break it out by different categories like accessories or garments or home decor. So if there is something that is of particular interest to you, you might try browsing around the classes right up top. And then for each of the different categories, they will also have within that category lists for beginners, for multi-part classes, for quick classes, and also for techniques. So if you were interested in getting your feet wet, you might try one of the quick classes. Whereas if you are already familiar with a craft and want to take a deep dive, you might do one of the multi-part classes. The next way to browse is their inspiration tab. And this is handy to know about because this is where you can find information to really be in the know about what's happening at Creativebug. So this one has separate tabs and we're going to take a look at each of them. So the first under inspiration is going to be calendar. And if we click on that, you'll see that it brings you to a list of new releases for the coming month, which is really exciting to know about. So you can see what new videos and classes are going to be released on Creativebug coming up. For ones that have not yet been released. So for these ones, the date that we're filming this, these ones are already out. This one is released today. So this one just got posted, but this plant talk with the tender gardener is not yet up. So if I go ahead and hit play now, it's going to bring me over to the page for the class, but it's just going to play me the trailer. It's not going to play me the full class. But the reason that I would still encourage you to do that is because it'll let you take a look at the materials list and get yourself ready if that is a class that you want to take. We'll be going over the aspects of all of the video and all of this navigation in a separate video. So I'm going to go ahead and back up and just, again, say that the calendar is a great resource to know about what's coming up. Also under inspiration button up at the top, there's also inspiration feeds. And what this is, I'm actually going to turn off accessibility because it makes it a little bit easier to see them without that on right now. So this is that community gallery feed that we saw in the first video. And what this is people can post pictures of their creations. And so this is a fun place to kind of browse around to see what other people have made. When you upload something to the gallery, you can associate it with a class that you've taken. So if someone has uploaded, say, these really cute crochet fruits, you can see if it was a particular class that they did that helped them create that. And then if that really strikes your fancy, you can take that class. All right, I'm going to go right back up to the top. I'm going to enable that accessibility again. And I am going to go back to inspiration. And we're going to take a look at the pattern library. And what's in the pattern library is pretty much just crochet and knitting patterns that are available for download. So if you crochet or knit, this is a place where you can get some patterns for free. So it's crochet patterns right up top. And then after those, down here on the bottom, see, there's a whole bunch. There are some knitting patterns, and it will give you information about the project, and then you can just go ahead and click and download to download the pattern. These are also, if they are associated with a particular class, will be available on that class page, which we're going to take a look at in more detail in a future video. So I'm going to go back up to the top. and we're going to take a look at the inspiration tab again. And then there is also class collections. And if I click on that, it's going to bring me to groups of arts and crafts project and classes by topic. Sometimes they're grouped by theme, sometimes they're grouped by craft, sometimes they're grouped by season. So it just depends on what's going on at Creativebug at that time. So this is also another fun way to browse. You know, Christmas in July, we can see what different classes fit that theme. And that kind of exposes you to things that you wouldn't necessarily have found a different way. All right, and then from the inspiration tab, finally, there's also the instructors. So I'm going to go ahead and click on instructors, and this brings you to a page that lists all of the instructors for Creativebug. And you'll see just by looking at how many instructors there are, you kind of get a feel for how much content is actually here. So when you find a person that you're interested in or that you've taken a class from, you can click on their profile and it will bring you to information about them. It allows them to link to their social media or their website if they have one. And then it lets, it'll include information, gallery images from their classes. Let me go back and pick a different instructor. So I'm going to pick this woman. And so hers is a little bit more robust. She's got 4 different classes. She's got, I'm going to disable accessibility again. She's got a bunch of images that are uploaded. So it gives you a feel for the teachers and what kind of content they're creating. And it also, because it links their social media profiles, it also would allow you to follow them online if that's something that you're interested in. All right, so the last 2 ways to browse are the cbtv and daily practice. So cbtv stands for Creativebug Television. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. They've got a lot of content that's not traditional classes, say, but they include things like their Facebook Live videos, time lapses, and then they do have some documentaries about their instructors, which are really interesting. So they've also, if we scroll down here, they've also got links to their lookbooks for the different months. So that's a fun way to see what crafts are popular during a particular month or season. So there's a lot of content in cbtv that is not strictly traditional classes, but is definitely inspiring content, and I would encourage you to check out. I just love all his little Buddhas. Anyway. All right, so the final way to browse is the daily practice tab. And daily practice is pretty much what it sounds like. It's daily practice content that lets you flex your creative muscles every day. They are collections of 5 to 10 minute videos of a particular craft that you can pull up and put on every day for a month, even when you're short on time. So for example, I'm going to click on the stamps, print, and blocks. And when I go ahead and click on chapters, which we'll get to in a future video, you'll see that there are 31 videos. They're all under 10 minutes. Well, not all, but most are under 10 minutes long. And this allows you to practice your craft every day. All right. So in this video, we've taken a look at the many different ways to search and browse all of the content in Creativebug. So I hope that you'll join us for our next video where we're going to be taking a closer look at how to navigate Creativebug videos and classes. Feel free to leave us a comment below or reach out to staff if you have any questions.